I think Marcus has achieved the #1 goal that he had going into Estacado, and that's to make his kids winners.
Yeah, I was at Allen High School when I was a freshman, and my mom had moved there for a year, and my mom decided that she was going to move back to North Dallas, and when she decided to do that, I was like, I don't want to go back there. So I threw a big fit, left, called myself running away, and went up to the field house, and there were some coaches still there. And never forget, our defensive coordinator, Terry Gamble, and I remember telling him, Coach, can I was bent out of shape, real emotional, and I remember telling my mom's moving back to North Dallas and I don't want to go. Can I stay here?
And Marcus come jogging up, and he didn't interrupt, but he did take his helmet off and said, excuse me, Coach, but my mother is moving back to Plano and I don't want to go, and I was wondering if it would be all right if I brought a pillow and a blanket and stayed in the locker room in the closet. You guys could lock me up every night. I don't care if the lights are on. I won't be afraid, and I won't bother anything. And Coach Martin said, well, I'll tell you what, Marcus, go get you a shower and we'll talk about it later. And as he jogged off, Coach Gamble and Coach Martin looked at each other and he said, you know, I almost think he was serious.
One of my friends at the time was Tyler Francisco, and his parents had an extra bedroom at their house. And they said, hey, you can move in with us, And since then, they've been like family to me.
And I had known Marcus. I didn't know him real well, but him and my son were both defensive tackles. So I was around him every day at practice and knew of him. And I told the coach, I said, he's serious. And I don't know what's going on at his house, but my wife and I, if it doesn't break any UIL rules, we'll be more than happy to give him a room if he wants to stay here and play.
You know, we had been picking him up and taking him places on the weekend anyway, and then dropping him back off at night on Sunday night after we'd gone to church and stuff. And it was simple. I mean, just, we had an extra bedroom. It seemed like just in our lifetime, our married life, once the kids were grown, or Tyler was in high school, Amy was in college, the room just kept becoming available. Like we were able to give someone a spot at the time that they needed it. And it was just Marcus's time. And you just felt it was the right thing to do. And we had the room, and all we need to do is get it set up for him.
He's told us 100,000 times when he was living with us that someday he would repay us. And we always said that the only way you're going to repay us is that you're going to help somebody sometime. There's going to be a kid that needs some help. And when you help him, you're repaid in full.
I was able to take in my little brother. When I graduated University of Arkansas in '09, I got my first coaching job in Wichita Falls. And my brother Shimon moved with me in 8th grade. And I raised him, from that point until he graduated. And Larry tends to tell me, because of that deed, we're paid in full.
To see what he's done with the programs that he's doing up there in Lubbock, with the kids right now, whether they're athletes or not, the food program, his picking them up because they don't have a ride, taking them home, they don't have a ride. That's just Marcus. That's his heart. So it's not about wins and losses as much as it is about the kids.
Anytime you can help somebody, and you need to. I always tell people where you can do better, you should do better. And those are some simple situations where we can do better.
Well, I can tell you this, it's not shocking to me that he's doing what he's doing out there with the young people. Marcus is that type of person. He cares about young people. He cares about his players, and he wants to see his players to be able to have the same opportunities that he had. I mean, I think that's exactly who Marcus Shavers is. What he learned growing up as a player, on and off the field, he wants to give back to those young people. He wants those kids to experience the same thing that Marcus experienced. And so I think that's why he does what he does. I don't think you can be a coach unless you love kids. Marcus loves kids.
Yeah, he always put his goals, he wrote them out and put them in his locker so that he said every day when he opened his locker, he'd see his goals and just remind him of what he was there for, what he was going for. So.
Marcus was a very passionate player. He cared about what type of job. He was always asking questions, and he wanted to learn more about his position, and he wanted to be the best. When we would have college recruiters come in, we didn't have to tell Marcus. He'd go introduce himself to these colleges and tell them who he was.
And I'll never forget when Coach Shebist from Arkansas came up during practice. He was up at practice, and during the break, Marcus came over to him, took his helmet off and said, "Hi, Marcus Shavers." And he said, "And I just wanted you to know that I'm going to play for you someday." And about that time the whistle blew, he ran back. Coach Shebist turned around and looked at us. There was a couple of guys, a couple of dads standing over there with him, and he turned around and he said, "I've been coaching 28 years. I have never had a kid look me in the eye and tell me that he was going to play for me."
Oh, there's most definitely. I keep up with what they're doing. I check box scores, and I get up, and one of the first scores I check is see how Lubbock Estacado did. And then I stay in touch. We'll text each other from time to time and just see how things are going. And but at the same time, you know, they put in a lot of hard work and a lot of hours to be successful.
Yeah, we're proud. We're proud for what he stands for what he's done, for the programs that he's put in place, and for what he's doing for the kids and the community.